What up, Hawk fans? This is Emma Welch with your on-campus Hawk Talk interview. Here today, I have the man, the myth, the legend. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Pete Stanton. I'm the athletic director here at Dickinson State, as well as the football coach.
Awesome. So, yeah, Coach Stan here is our athletic director here at DSU. How long have you been in this role?
I've been here as athletic director since 2017. Prior to that, I was the assistant football coach and was the head track coach, and then took over as the head football coach as 14 and athletic director in 2017.
Wow. All right. So if you could give your younger self any advice that would help you get to your journey here as athletic director, what would you give your younger self?
I would say just take one day at a time.
Heck yeah.
There's going to be a lot of things that come up as an athletic director with all the different sports and all the different things with the conferences and all that. And you just have to try to solve things that happen today. We can't worry about quite tomorrow. You have to prepare for tomorrow, but I think taking one day at a time.
Yeah. I mean, I see you at volleyball games, basketball games, wrestling matches. I saw you at the golf course quite a few times. So, I mean, you got a lot of things along with coaching. That's crazy that you can just run and do everything. I could not imagine doing that.
Yeah, there's just a lot of balancing to it, and obviously supporting all of our programs. But fortunately, we just have great people here, to work with. Kristen Fleury is our associate athletic director, and she takes care of the things in the fall. Otherwise, there's no way we'd be able to do what we could do with football. And Coach McCarville helps out in the game day things in the winter, and we are able to kind of split that up and do it by committee, and we make it work. But it's a lot of work. It's a big team effort, but couldn't do it without him. But it ends up working out fine.
Right. So last year, the Blue Hawks were so successful in the North Star Conference. Now we've transitioned over to the Frontier Conference. Do you want to give me a little insight on what the transition looked like from the athletic director standpoint, but also what you think this year's going to look like for the Blue Hawks?
In the athletic director standpoint, it's been a long process. It's really started a spring ago, and it all fortunately came together. For a while, it didn't look like it was going to come together. It looked like it was maybe going to be Dickinson State and possibly Bismarck State coming in, and we weren't sure what was going to happen with Mayville and Valley. And I think once Dakota State made that move that they were going to go to the Frontier, that pulled Bellevue in. And then I think Valley and Mayville kind of at the same time came in. So it's been a long process. We've had meetings weekly. I've been on the transition team for the Frontier. And one of the beautiful things about the Frontier for us now is for the first time ever, we're really in the middle of the conference. And we have always been on the west edge or the east edge. Mm-hmm. And putting us in the middle is great. I think the other really nice thing about it is most of our students come west to east. We have obviously a lot of Montana students, a lot of Wyoming students, students, South Dakota students that come this way. And so I think that's helpful too, that, their parents and their families, you'll be able to see us more out in Montana in addition to playing the North Dakota schools that we've played in the past.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've seen a lot of parents saying that we're going to go watch you guys play in Havre. And they're coming this way more rather than just watching online, and I think that's a great thing for the school and for the students.
Yeah, no question. It's going to be a positive move. We know the task at hand in all the sports. Frontier's a very good league if you look at all the way down the line, from basketball to football to volleyball to golf to cross country, and you name it. I mean, there's just a lot of good teams. But I think what it does is it really gives Dickinson State a lot of stability with knowing, hey, we have a 12-team conference in all the sports and a 14-team conference in football. We have that stability. We have a full schedule. A good example is our volleyball team. Last year, I think we played our first game at the end of September at home. Now we'll have 11 home games in volleyball, and that's just one example where it really gives us a lot of home games. The other thing it gives us is a lot of familiarity, as you mentioned. A lot of people know Carroll and know Rocky Mountain and things like that, where maybe they didn't know some of the other teams that our conference. So it gives their fans that familiarity as well.
Yeah, so like you were saying about our fans, so I've noticed coming to games, there are a ton of fans that come week in, week out, no matter the weather. And is there anything that you would like to say to the fans or to the students that show up every single day How does it make you feel to know that we have such great Blue Hawk fans?
It feels great. Yeah, just Dickinson and the community and Dickinson State is just an unbelievably supportive place, for a lot of reasons, but I think you see that in our games, the students at every game. I mean, we see a JV volleyball game and we see a good crowd of students, and you mentioned golf and whatever it might be. I think the students have been unbelievably supportive, and I think, our athletic teams have been unbelievably supportive of each other. We have a big family atmosphere, and that's really helpful because that doesn't happen in a lot of places. I think Dickinson's unique that way, and then you see our crowds at the volleyball matches here so far this fall, are both of our home football games. The crowds have been tremendous, so we're really grateful for the support that Dickinson gives us.
Right. Okay, so kind of switching gears, do you have any personal goals for the Blue Hawks this year? What are we looking at for, say, just an overall Blue Hawk year in the Frontier Conference?
I think, we want to be competitive. We want to compete for conference championships in every sport. I think that's our goal. I'm not saying we're going to win a conference championship in every sport because we know how difficult things are, but I think our goal in all of our sports is to compete for a conference championship. Obviously in basketball and volleyball, they're only going to take so many teams to the conference championship. In football, there's an East-West split, that type of thing. But I think, really, to be honest, as good as the league is in a lot of the sports, and if you're in those top 3 or 4 in those sports, you're doing really, really well, because a lot of those sports, you can go down the line, whatever the sport is, in football, basketball, golf, cross country, track. There's some of the best teams in the nation in this conference. So if you can be in the top half of this conference, you're going to be one of the better teams in the nation. So I think that's definitely one of our goals, is just to be competitive and compete for a conference championship in the sports.
No, I completely agree with that. I feel like the Frontier Conference is so much bigger. There's so many more teams than the North Star. Obviously, all the schools from the North Star pretty much join the Frontier Conference. So it's like there's 2 conferences here, and now we're one. I mean, it's obviously going to be more competitive and more challenging to win a conference championship. But just looking at what DSU has done so far, even this year, I feel like I would agree. I mean,
yeah,
DSU
no question. You
really
look at a couple of sports. Look at volleyball right now. Bellevue is very close to winning a national championship in volleyball last year, and we end up beating them here at Dickinson, and they have a lot of their team back. But then you look at one or two of the other teams were in the top 4 nationally, and then in basketball, like take women's basketball for example, they've had teams that have played in the national championship game, multiple teams that have played in the national championship game here over the last 4 or 5 years. So it's set a high level of the conference, and it really forces you to, in your recruiting and whatever it might be, we just need to continue to step up. And it's not going to be easy, and we know that. But I think just being competitive and really really putting on a good product for the fans and for a university is really what our goal is too.
Yeah, and then the final question, we have it in every interview that we have. What does DSU mean to you?
Oh, it's a special place. It always has been. I've been fortunate to be a part of it for a long time. I was a student here many years ago, and then was away for a while, and was one of the only places that really that I would have came back to. And I've been fortunate to be a part of it then now for going on year 26. And I think just the family atmosphere, the support, the camaraderie on campus is really what makes it special. And the students, if it wasn't for the students and what the students do for the university and the way they represent Dickinson State, it makes me proud to be a part of it.
Awesome. So thank you so much, Coach Stanton, for taking a couple minutes out of your busy schedule, as you mentioned earlier, going from place to place. And we really appreciate having you on Hawk Talk. And with that, I'm going to send the next interview over to Xander in studio.
What's up, Hawk fans? I'm Cheyenne Jacobs, clearly not Xander Beeson, but I'm here with 14th President of Dickinson State University, and I will have you introduce yourself.
Hi, Scott Molander here, 14th President of Dickinson State University. Glad to be here.
Perfect. All right, so let's just jump right in. What is the most exciting thing happening at DSU right now that maybe some students might not know about yet?
We are going to take back and run our own bookstore and fan shop.
Oh, really?
Blue Hawk Outfitters.
Okay.
Yep. Did you not vote?
Oh, I think I did vote.
Come on.
I think I did.
All
Maybe.
right.
I get a lot of emails.
Okay. You should read them.
Yeah, I probably
They're
should.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you had one free afternoon to spend like a DSU student, what would you do on campus or around Dickinson?
Oh, man, I don't think that's changed much since I would be here. If the weather's nice, I'd be sitting outside in the afternoon hanging out with my friends on the front lawn.
Okay, so like in King Pavilion.
Yeah, well, King Pavilion wasn't there when I went to school, but we used to hang out there or back by DeLong by the practice field.
Okay, yeah. We have a lot of people play spike ball there these days.
Yeah.
What is one major initiative or milestone that you're most proud of, either professionally, personally?
I'd say lucky enough to marry my wife and then have 2 wonderful daughters.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I married up, so.
What's a project or change that you're especially excited to see for the next year?
Oh, boy, there's so many. We want to get the bookstore integrated into the campus. I just want to get out and spend a bunch of time with the students, not only here, but future students in the community and in the region. I want to hear what they need, what they want from DSU for an education, whether it's part-time, full-time, welding, master's degree. That's what I'm most excited to do the next year is just travel around the region.
Wow, that's impressive. You're going to head down to Illinois?
No, I'm not. No, there's no need to go there. I already know somebody from there.
What's something about being a university president that would surprise most people?
That would surprise most people about a university president? Like what I got to do every day?
Yeah. What's a day in the life?
Sign a lot of things.
Sign a lot of things?
Yes, you have to sign a lot of things.
Has your signature gotten really good?
No. I'm going to probably have surgery on my right wrist now.
Carpal tunnel?
Carpal tunnel.
From
yep.
just signing your life away
Absolutely.
every day?
Yeah, every day.
Okay. Wow.
No.
What is one piece of advice that you'd give a freshman starting at DSU?
Go to class and work hard. It sets great habits for the beginning of school. I was lucky I got that advice back when I went to school also. And I probably missed, other than sports activities, probably missed a half a dozen classes in my...
Yeah, definitely go to class, Blue Hawks.
Go to class.
It's quite important.
Yes, it is.
I've learned firsthand that if you don't go to class, you will struggle a little bit.
Yes, you will.
So always go to class. Follow up on that. What is one thing you would tell graduating seniors that they're about to enter the real world, essentially?
I would say show up early and work hard. A lot of employers these days, me being on both sides, having taught the last 4 years in there, is just work hard, get there, show up on time, have a good attitude. You will move up quickly. And it doesn't matter the profession, from teaching to business to whatever you want to do. If you just show up on time, work hard, earn your pay for the day, that's all they care about.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely. So we ask everyone on Hawk Talk this.
Yes.
What does DSU mean to you?
Family. Yep, the Blue Hawk family, because it doesn't matter. When I find out, I was in Fargo earlier this summer, ran into somebody from DSU. Anywhere I run into somebody or people who texted me, the Blue Hawk family takes care of each other.
We definitely do.
Yep.
It's my favorite part about this campus.
Yep, absolutely. Me too.
100%. Well, thank you for coming on. We're super excited to see what you have in store for the next few years while you're here. We're super excited.
Awesome. I'm excited too. I pinch myself every day.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out with us in Studio Blue Hawks. We'll kick it to recap with me. What's up, Blue Hawk fans? I'm back here this week with your recap. So all fall athletics are in full swing, so here's a quick update on how our teams have been doing this year. Baseball kicked off their fall ball, and they're currently sitting at 2-2, and they take on frontier rival Bismarck State this Friday. Football started their season off 2-0, but have since fallen to number 25 Carroll and number 9 Montana Western, so they are now 2-2. But they are on the road this weekend to take on Mayville State, and then they are back at the BAC next weekend on the 11th to celebrate 100 years of football and homecoming. You can catch us on Game Day Hawk Talk during the tailgate. Softball has also begun their fall ball and take on Miles City Community College this coming weekend. Women's and men's golf are almost done with their fall season, with women's golf placing 1st, 2nd, 4th, 7th, and 5th in their tournaments, and men's golf putting together some consistent rounds and placing 2nd, 4th, and 5th. They head to Mayville this coming week to end up their fall season. Cross-country men placed 5th as a team in Bismarck and then 4th at their home invitational. The women placed 5th at both their meets, and both teams are working towards great goals under their new head coach, Thomas Schwartz. Volleyball has an overall record of 7-7, with big wins over number 24 Dakota State and then number 3 previous national runner-up Bellevue. They take on the Rocky Mountain Battling Bears this Friday in Scott Gym, so head out and support your Blue Hawks. We wish all the Blue Hawks and groups luck in their upcoming competitions and activities, and as always, Hawks are up.